Dr. Patricia Benner was born August 31st, 1942, and is a nursing theorist. She worked as a nurse in the late 1960s, and her experience included head nurse in the coronary care unit and intensive care nursing. From 1970 through 1975, she was a research associate at UCSF School of Nursing, where she obtained her master's degree. In 1982, Dr. Benner received her PhD from the University of California, Berkeley. Dr. Benner began to work with UCSF in 1982. She has published 9 books, including Novice to Expert, which is her theory that she is well known for. In it, she establishes 5 stages of proficiency in nursing. Dr. Benner's 5 stages of proficiency in the Novice to Expert model include Novice, Advanced Beginner, Competent, Proficient, and Expert. Now we will summarize a research article using her Novice to Expert theory as a theoretical framework.
The research article we chose is called I Train and Mentor, They Take Them, a qualitative study of nurses' perspectives of neonatal nursing expertise and its development in Kenyan hospitals. Kenya has a neonatal mortality rate of 22 per 1,000 live births. This article's focus is on finding how to reduce the neonatal mortality rate by taking Patricia Benner's theoretical framework theory into consideration. This article shows how Benner's theory on the acquisition of experience is gained by bedside education and hands-on experience. In this article, 29 neonatal nurses from different educational backgrounds in Kenya were interviewed. These nurses came from public, private, and faith-based hospitals. All nurses suggested that building experience and being comfortable in the nurse's role are key components in quality neonatal care. Different factors such as length of nurse orientation and the management system affects the amount of hands-on experience nurses receive. The article findings showed that nurses who work in faith-based and public hospitals would be considered novice. Those who work in private hospitals would be considered more competent because they have more opportunities to develop expertise through practice. The conclusion was that different health sectors need to be required to adopt better orientation and less rotation so the nurses can gain the experience they need to provide competent care. Now we will demonstrate the 5 stages of Benner's novice to expert theory.
Starting with the first stage in Dr. Patricia Benner's novice to expert theory is a novice. Novice nurses are beginner nurses with no experience. They tend to be inflexible and simply follow instruction. Rules govern their behavior due to them not having any experience to fall back on.
Hi, I have your meds.
Thank you, nurse.
You're welcome. Can you tell me your name and date of birth?
It's Jane Smith. Date of birth is 4/1997.
All right, I'm going to scan your wristband. Any allergies I should know of?
Nope, no allergies.
Here are your meds, and then let me get your water. There you go.
So are you going to start my IV now?
Oh, I forgot it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, I have your IV.
It took you 45 minutes.
As you can see, this novice nurse was sidetracked by many other tasks that needed to be completed before getting back to the task at hand. An advanced beginner demonstrates acceptable performance gained with experience in actual nursing situations. This helps the nurse to recognize recurring meaningful components so that principles begin to formulate and guide their actions. Let's see how an advanced beginner might handle the same situation.
Thank you for verifying your information for me. And here are your meds.
Thank you.
And then here's your water. Great.
So are you going to give me my IV now?
Oh, I forgot your IV. I'll be right back. I'll come back within the next 15 minutes, okay?
Okay, sounds good. See
All
you
right.
then.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be right back. I'm sorry about that. I have your IV. I just need to re-verify you again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hang your IV, okay?
Okay.
As you can see, the advanced beginner still forgot the IV bag, but it fortunately did not derail her entire med pass. A competent nurse has 2 to 3 years experience in the same field. They are more aware of long-term goals and they gain perspective from planning their own actions, which helps them achieve greater efficiency and organization. Let's see what the competent nurse does.
Hi, Mrs. Smith. Thank you for verifying your name, date of birth, and that you have no allergies for me again.
Yeah, no problem. Sure thing.
So I have your medicine. These are your 5-mouth medicines, and you're also due for your IV. Here's your water.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to go ahead and check your IV site. That looks good. It's not red. There's no infiltration. That's great. I'm going to hang this on the pole. Get you all hooked up here. And I'll be back in about 1 hour and we're going to get your wound treatment done, okay?
Okay.
All right. I'll see you then, Mrs. Smith.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
In this case, the competent nurse did not forget the IV bag and gave the patient a plan for wound treatment in an hour. The proficient nurse perceives and understands situations as whole parts, more holistic, which improves decision making. They also know how to modify plans as needed based on experience. Let's see, what about the proficient nurse?
Hi, Mrs. Smith. I'm going to listen to your heart and your lungs before I give you your meds, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Sit up for me a little bit. Your heart and lungs sound really good, okay?
Okay.
Here are your meds. Great. How are you tolerating your medicines?
Tolerating them pretty well. No side effects to report.
Okay, great to hear that. I'm going to check your IV here. Make sure that there is no infiltration, no redness. Doing great. I'm going to go ahead and hang your IV med. We're going to start getting you up and out of bed for every meal. And I also want you to use your incentive spirometer every commercial break. That'll help your lungs so you'll be able to go home, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
As you can see, the proficient nurse thought of interventions far into the future that will lead to better outcomes for the patient. Expert nurses are fluid, flexible, and have highly proficient nursing skills. Experience is a prerequisite for becoming an expert nurse. Now, let's see how the expert nurse does it.
Hi, Mrs. Smith. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. A lot better than before.
Okay, great. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, and then go ahead and sit up for me. Your lungs and heart sound really good.
You have a call.
Oh, okay. I'll be right there, okay? I'm with the patient. So we're going to go ahead and get you up and out of bed to take your meds. And then you're going to sit and eat your lunch on the side of the bed, okay?
Okay.
Get you up. Take your time. All right. Now I'll give you your meds. Here are your pills. And then I'll check your IV site. Does it hurt at all?
No.
All right. And it's not red or tender. Does that hurt while you feel the water going in? I'm going to go ahead and get your IV started now. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and while that's hanging on the pole, you'll go ahead and eat your lunch, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you can see, the expert nurse thinks of many interventions and is seamless with transitions into the interventions that he or she is performing for the patient. Keep in mind that any nurse, no matter how many the years of experience, can fall into one of these categories if they are in a new position. For instance, a nurse that has been a nurse for 20 years can fall into a novice position if they transfer departments that they have never worked in. Please note our scenarios were for demonstration purposes of the novice to expert theory only.